Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh dan salam sejahtera. Okay, welcome back to our class Power System BAJ 20603. Okay, so today we will discuss about chapter 5 power factor analysis. Okay, so in this chapter we will discuss about active and reactive power, okay, which is subtopic 1. Okay, and then we will discuss about effect of low power factor, and the last one we will discuss about power factor correction. So in this subtopic, in this video we will discuss about active and reactive power. What is active and what is reactive power? Okay, basically we already discussed about active power, reactive power, and apparent power in chapter 2. We already discussed in detail about this type of power, which is active power. What is the meaning of active power? Okay, basically active power actually is measured in watt. Okay, do you still remember what is active power, which is P, measured in watt, normally shown as kilowatt, kW. Okay, what is the meaning of active power? Active power basically is basically provide the working part of the power system, which is producing heat, lights, motion, and etc. Okay, number 2, reactive power. Okay, what is the meaning of reactive power? Okay, basically reactive power measure in volt ampere reactive, or normally known as kVAR. Okay, kilovolt ampere reactive. It only maintains the electromagnetic field and provides no working parts of the power system. Okay, number 3, apparent power, which is S. Okay, measure in volt ampere. Okay, normally shown as kVA, kilovolt ampere. Okay, which is provided both working and non-working parts of the power system. Okay, this is type of power that available in power system. Okay, so in this slide we try to review what is the apparent power. Okay, basically we already discussed in chapter 2. Okay, let's say we have a sinusoidal source. Okay, and then we have a passive linear network and load. So let's say our source supply a voltage and current IT and VT. So average power equal to 1/2 VA maximum voltage times maximum current cos theta V minus theta I. So after simplification, okay, so we can get P equal to Vrms Irms cos theta V minus theta I. So we can simplify equal to S cos theta V minus theta I. So this S equal to apparent power. Okay, apparent power, which mean equal to S, okay, magnitude of S equal to Vrms times Irms. Okay, which is measured in volt ampere. This is the unit of apparent power. Okay, VA. Okay, what is the meaning of cos theta V minus theta I, which is angle of voltage, the different angle between angle of voltage and angle of currents. So this one we call it power factor, cos theta V minus theta I, or we can say that power factor equal to P divided by S. Okay, by solving this equation, cos theta V minus theta I equal to P divided by S. Okay, this is a power factor. Okay, so next, this is just a review because we already discussed in detail in chapter 2. Okay, this is the useful parameters in this chapter, power factor. Okay, the power factor, what is the meaning of power factor? Power factor is the cosine of the phase difference between voltage and current. Okay, cosine of the phase difference between voltage and current equal to cos theta V, angle of voltage minus angle of current. Okay, or equal to P over S. Okay, real power over apparent power. Okay, this is the example of the power triangle. Okay, power triangle. This is theta, the different angle between voltage and current. Okay, this is a real power. This is a Q, reactive power, and then this is the apparent power. Okay, power factor is also the cosine of the angle of the load impedance. Okay, which is we can determine power factor based on angle of Z, because Z equal to V RMS over I RMS. Okay, angle theta V minus theta I. So this is the power, this is the impedance triangle of the Z. Okay, real, this is the resistance, okay, X, reactance, and impedance. This is the magnitude of the impedance. Okay, this is the angle. So cos theta, which is equal to the cos theta of the power triangle. Okay, let's say our power factor equal to, power factor basically is between 0 to 1. The value of power factor basically is from 0 to 1. Okay, let's say power factor equal to 1, we call it a resistive load. We have only resistive load, which is current and voltage are in phase. Okay, they are in phase. Let's say if we have a power factor equal to 0, we call it purely reactive load. Okay, purely reactive load, either L or C, which means that the current and voltage equal to, the different angle between current and voltage equal to either plus or minus 90 degree. Okay, basically we have 3 different types of power factor. Number 1, we call it a unity power factor, which is for resistive load. And then we have a lagging power factor for inductive load. Number 3, we have a leading power factor for capacitive load. Okay, first of all, look at to the unity power factor. Unity power factor means power factor equal to 1. Okay, it means that both current and voltage are in phase with each other for resistive load. Let's say we have a supply, sinusoidal supply connected to the resistor. Okay, this is the waveform of the voltage supply. Okay, or voltage across R. This is the current. Okay, current through the R, which is in phase with the voltage. So when we draw the phasor diagram, we found that voltage and current are in phase. It means that our system actually is power factor, unity power factor, or power factor equal to 1. Okay, number 2, let's say we have a inductive load. What is the meaning of inductive load? It means that we have a combination of R, resistor, and inductor. Okay, either in series or in parallel. Okay, we call it a inductive load. Okay, when we have a inductive load, our power factor basically we call it lagging power factor. Why? Because the current lags the voltage by an angle of theta. Okay, sorry, the angle of theta. Okay, let's say we have a voltage waveform across a load, and then we have a current. So the different angle between voltage and current equal to theta. It means that our current lags voltage by theta degree. So when we draw the phasor diagram, we found that current lags voltage by theta degree. Okay, this is the phasor diagram. Okay, if we draw the power triangle, this is a power triangle for lagging power factor for inductive load. Okay, we have a P, we have a positive Q. Remember, if we have an inductive load, lagging power factor, our Q is positive. And then we have a apparent power. This is a theta. So power factor equal to cos theta. This is a lagging power factor. Okay, the last one, number 3. we have a leading power factor, means the current leads the voltage by angle theta. This is theta. We call it a capacitive load, which means that our load actually is combination of R and C. Okay, this means that when we have a R and C and then we have a sinusoidal supply, so our current leads voltage by angle theta. That's why we call it leading power factor. So I can summarize that lagging power factor means current lags voltage. Okay, current lags voltage. We call it lagging power factor. Leading power factor means current leads voltage. So okay, easy for you to remember. What's the meaning of lagging? Lagging means current lags for inductive load, and leading means current leads voltage for capacitive load. Okay, clear. Okay, this is summary of the power triangle. Let's say we have complex power equal to V RMS I RMS cos theta V minus theta I plus J V RMS I RMS sin theta V minus theta I. Real power means real component of the complex power. This is a real power, or we call it a active power. Okay, equal to P equal to V RMS I RMS cos theta V minus theta I, which is measured in watt. Okay, which is this real power depending to the resistance. Okay, depends to the load's resistance, which is R. Okay, this is a real power for the power triangle. Okay, reactive power, okay, equal to the imaginary part of the complex power. This is a reactive power, which is equal to Q V RMS I RMS sin theta V minus theta I. Okay, measure the unit actually is volt ampere reactive. Okay, this reactive power basically depends on the load's reactance, which is depend to the X. Okay, and then number 3, we call it apparent power. Okay, sorry, for reactive power, this is the power triangle for reactive power. This is a positive reactive power. If you have a negative reactive power, okay, it will go to the negative part. Okay, this is a positive part. Okay, apparent power equal to S V RMS I RMS. The unit actually is volt ampere. This is S. Okay, this is S, and this is the theta, the different angle between voltage and current. Okay, this is the review of power triangle. Basically, we already discussed about this type, all the types of power in chapter 2. This is just a review. Okay, this is the power triangle. Okay, let's say we have a P. This P we call it a active, sometimes we call it a real power, sometimes we call it true power. Okay, or VI cos theta, V RMS I RMS cos theta. This one we call it a reactive power, okay, which is measured in volt ampere reactive equal to VI sin theta. Okay, this one we call it apparent power equal to VI. So if you are given phase angle and S, for example, so you can determine P and Q by solving the trigonometry, by solving this power angle by using trigonometry concept. Okay, so we can summarize that angle of power triangle. Okay, let's say we have power triangle P, Q, and S. This is angle of the power triangle. Let's say for that load you have R, X, and Z. We call it impedance triangle. The angle of impedance triangle basically is equal to the angle of power triangle. Okay, so the complex power S is represented by the power triangle similar to the impedance triangle. Okay, look at to the example 5.1. Okay, an installation supplies the following loads. Okay, supply to the following loads. We have 3 loads. Okay, 10 kilowatt at unity power factor, load number 1. Load number 2, we have a 15 kilovolt ampere at 0.8 power factor lagging. Okay, load number 2, 15 kilovolt ampere at 0.8 power factor lagging, and the load number 3, we have a 4 kilovolt ampere active leading power factor. This is a purely capacitive load. Okay, the question actually is you need to calculate the total kilowatt, which is total P, total Q, and then overall kVA, which is apparent power, and then power factor. Okay, so for the load number 1, okay, we have a 10 kilowatt at unity power factor, which means that we have a P1 equal to 10 kilowatt. Okay, if power factor equal to unity, we don't have a reactive power, which means that our reactive power equal to 0. Okay, for the load number 2, we have a 15 kilowatt ampere at 0.8 power factor lagging. Okay, please bear in mind we have a power factor lagging, so it means that our load actually is inductive load, or our Q equal to positive. Okay, so P2 equal to, by solving the power triangle, from the power triangle, we have a power triangle. For example, we have a power triangle. Okay, let's say we have power triangle. So theta, this is a P, this is a Q, this is a S. Given S equal to 15, given S is equal to 15, so we can determine P. P equal to S cos theta by solving the trigonometry of this power triangle. Okay, because cos theta equal to P over S. Okay, so you can get the power, real power, equal to 12 kilowatt, and from the power triangle you can determine Q, reactive power, because from this power triangle our Q equal to S sin theta, and then you can get a Q. Okay, so for lagging power factor, you have a P, and then you have a positive Q. You have a positive Q, which is your load actually is inductive load. Okay, for the load number 3, we have a 4 kilovolt ampere active leading. This is a purely capacitive load. Okay, we don't have a R, we don't have a resistor, so our Q3 equal to, leading means our Q or reactive power equal to negative. Lagging actually is positive because of inductive load. Leading, due to the capacitive load, we need to put negative or minus to the Q. Okay, so we don't have a P, we don't have a real power equal to 0. Okay, how to determine the total power? Based on energy conservation concept, based on the concept of energy conservation, total P equal to the summation of the P for each load. Okay, P for each load, okay, equal to P total P equal to P1 plus P2 and then plus P3. In this case, our P3 equal to 0, so you will get a total P, and then for total Q you need to plus Q1, Q2 and Q3. In this case, Q1 equal to 0, so you will get total Q. So total complex power, okay, total complex power equal to S equal to, okay, this is a vector of S, we call it a complex power, equal to P plus JQ. Okay, we have a P and then we have a Q. Okay, so from this rectangular form you can convert to polar form by using your own calculator, so you'll get complex power. Okay, so the next question actually is you need to determine overall power factor. So what is the overall power factor? Okay, overall power factor equal to cos theta, angle of the complex power. angle of the total complex power equal to 12.8. Cos theta equal to 0.975. Okay, I hope you can understand this example. And then for example, let's say we have a next question. Please draw the power triangle of the total complex power. So you can easily draw the power triangle with P, Q, and this is the apparent power. This is the apparent power, magnitude of the complex power. Okay, next, get to the example 5.2. Okay, consider the following 50 Hz base circuit with the given parameters. Okay, given parameters, we have a voltage. Okay, the supply voltage is not given. We have C, capacitance. Okay, we have R, and then we have L. Okay, we have a voltage across this load. Okay, we have a voltage across this load equal to 100 angle 0. So the question is, find the source current. Okay, where is the source current? This is the source current, IS. And number 2B, find the active, reactive, and apparent power into the circuit. Okay, which is complex power supply to the load. Okay, the last question, determine the power factor of the circuit. Determine the overall power factor of the circuit. Okay, let's say we solve for. Okay, first of all, we need to determine the source current, IS. How to determine IS? Because IS equal to summation of I1 plus I2. So first you need to determine I1. How to determine I1? Given voltage and impedance, so you can determine I1 equal to V divided by Z. This Z basically is combination of R and XL. So V 100 angle 0 by divided by R plus J omega L. So you can get a current. We call it I1. Then you can determine I2. How to determine I2? V divided by XC. Okay, minus JXC, or V divided by 1 over J omega C. Okay, 1 over J omega C. And then by solving this mathematical equation, because voltage across C equal to this V. Okay, because the voltage because this C actually is in parallel with R and L. Then you can get I2. So from Kirchhoff current law, you can determine total current or supply current, which is IS equal to I1 plus I2. So you can get total current or supply current equal to 85.3 angle minus 32.42 degree ampere. So for the next question, find the complex power. So how to determine the complex power? Okay, supplied by the source. Complex power supplied by the source. Okay, supplied by the source. Okay, supplied by the source. So we need information of currents and voltage, because we know that complex power equal to Vrms times Irms conjugate. Okay, what is the voltage across here? Voltage across here equal to 100 angle 0 times supply current conjugate, which is equal to this one, and then you need to put conjugate. Okay, minus degree minus 32.42 equal to positive if we conjugate IS. Okay, then you can get complex power supplied by the source, supply to the load in polar form. Then you can convert to rectangular form using your own calculator, using your scientific calculator. So this real value equal to real power or active power. This imaginary value equal to reactive power. This is your P supplied by the source. This is Q, okay, from the source. Okay, so the last question, you need to determine the power factor, okay, supplied by the power factor, okay, seen from the source. So since our theta equal to 32.42 degrees, so power factor equal to cos theta equal to 0.84 lagging or leading. How to determine this one is lagging? Okay, you can determine according to the total Q. In this case, our Q actually is positive, which means total load actually is inductive load. So when we have an inductive load, our power factor equal to lagging power factor. Okay, is it clear? If we have a negative Q, for example, our power factor equal to leading power factor. So I think that's all for this subtopic. Okay, review of active and reactive power. Okay, see you again in the next lecture. Okay, assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.